Well, lots of campaigning, plenty of polls, and there still isn't an overwhelming favorite in the 2012 GOP primary race. Take a look at this. According to a new Gallup poll, 58% of Republicans or Republican-leaning independents said they didn't have a preference. So what do these candidates need to do to try to stand out? Starting us down with some insight are Chairman of Civic Forum PAC and co-founder of Project Virginia, Ford O'Connell, and also Ellen Qualls, former senior advisor to Nancy Pelosi. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so that Gallup poll, my understanding is they didn't throw out any names. They just said to the folks out there that they saw as either Republicans or Republican-leaning independents, do you have a preference? 58% said no. Ford, where are these candidates failing to resonate?
I think what we're looking for is a candidate who can unite fiscal and social conservatives. I mean, right now, Mitt Romney is the front runner, but he's a weak front runner because a lot of rank and file Republicans don't really feel comfortable with his positions, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of a Bachmann surge. But the stars are aligning for Rick Perry, and if he gets in, his job message is very strong.
All right, Ellen, do you think the Democrats should be encouraged by this news at this point? I mean, we're still 15, 16 months out, but because there's no one that yet seems to be absolutely breaking away, encouraging?
Yeah, in 2008, we had a strong field. We had these great candidates, and so we were blessed with the riches, and we had a long time to focus. So that's what actually scares me, is when you have all these people out there, and there's a lot of news attention on them, then, you know, some stories kind of catch fire after some period of time, and people could really single out some of these candidates. But right now, I'm happy with the candidate we have, and the problem Ford has is more challenging.
Yeah, all right. I want to also look at a Ford poll. This is, excuse me, Fox. And I'll ask you, Ford, about the Fox poll. It's your poll. You took it. No, this is a Fox News poll. About the 2012 GOP presidential nominee preference. All right, in the top 5, we've got Romney, Perry, Bachmann, Giuliani, and Palin. But you'll notice 3 out of those 5 aren't even in this race. So, Ford, what does that tell you about how GOP voters are feeling?
They're looking for somebody who's going to fight for them, and they're looking for somebody who can create jobs. And that's the one thing that Rick Perry really brings to the table. In 2 of the last 4 years, Texas has created more jobs than the other 49 states combined. That's a very powerful message in this down economy. And it's something that I think a lot of Republicans want to rally around. But they want to pick the right guy because the one thing they want to see is President Obama unseated in 2012.
Well, and he said to the Des Moines Register, of course, Iowa, a very important state here, that he feels more and more comfortable every day that he may be called to this position or called to step up and run. Ellen, does he make you nervous at all, or do you think he has flaws?
Well, I think he has flaws. You know, I worked for Mark Warner for a while before I worked for Nancy Pelosi, and I like governors, and I think they have great executive abilities. They know how to get stuff done. I look at Rick Perry's record, and I see that he has more uninsured workers in his state than any other state. He has a great deal of education cuts that he'll have to run with, and he has still 8% unemployment. So yeah, he had a job surge, but he's done it also by borrowing a lot of money. He's actually borrowed at a higher rate than President Obama has, solving the recovery.
Ford, will he be able to explain those moves as governor?
I think he can, because what he's showing here is he's the longest serving governor in the history of Texas, okay? And when you've been there that long and you're able to stay in there, it's showing staying power and an executive who can make tough decisions. And that, combined with his jobs record, really makes him a powerful candidate.
I want to ask you about some of the folks who were expected to do better than they are at this point. You think of former Speaker Newt Gingrich. You know, there are rumors that he's mired into debt. You know, we saw this massive walk-off by his staff. Ellen, do you think he's done? Do you think it's time for him to formally bow out at this point? Because you think about back to Senator John McCain, there were a lot of people who thought that he's traveling Southwest and carrying his own bags, and he came roaring back.
Right, we have a long way to go between now and next November, and so Newt Gingrich always has ideas. He may put some ideas out in debates that make him attractive to people, and again, as you said with Senator McCain, money doesn't have to be a disqualifier at this point, especially with the internet, when you have an idea that lights fire and you have donations surge in.
All right, Ellen, Ford, thank you both very much. Good to see you.
Thank you.